The office smelled like burnt coffee and high stress when Amara's vision blurred. Numbers on the quarterly report drifted like fish under dark water. Her fingers, ink-stained and trembling, clutched the desk as the room tilted. A distant hum of printers, the click of keyboards, then the sharp, cold taste of tile as she dropped. A pen rolled toward the door. Someone shouted her name, the air splitting with panic. In that suspended second, the fluorescent light above her flickered as if heaven itself blinked back tears. She thought of her son, Kosi, waiting after school with his lunchbox and bright questions, and of her husband, Toby, whose promises sounded like polished stones, smooth, heavy, and easy to throw. Sirens entered the building's bones. A paramedic pressed 2 fingers to her neck, found the frightened drum of life, and lifted her onto a stretcher. Through half-closed eyes, she watched the ceiling pass like slow clouds. The elevator chimed. Her phone buzzed with an incoming call she couldn't answer. Somewhere outside, traffic wailed and pigeons rose as if to escort her. In the ambulance, as a mask veiled her face, she remembered the last time Toby looked at her like a miracle and how long ago that felt. At the same hour, Toby stood under a sweep of chandeliers in a rented banquet hall, palms wrapped around a glass he didn't need. Music thumped like a heart trying to be heard over its own guilt. Lola, the kind of beautiful that made people forget their names, was laughing, bathed in light, floating through a crowd that had learned to worship the visible. The party bore her initials on ice blocks and the backs of servers. Someone told Toby a joke, and he opened his mouth to smile just as his phone buzzed, screen lighting with a message, "Your wife collapsed. Rushing to General Hospital." Another buzz, a nurse asking for consent. He felt the ground tilt, not in grief, but in the sickly heat of being seen choosing. He glanced at Lola, at the cameras, at investors who linked him to her shine. He thought of speeches, of deals sealed with champagne, of a life that looked impressive in photographs. He slid the phone back into his pocket like a sin he couldn't afford to confess. He told himself he would go after the toast, after the cake, after one more photo. And the moment he chose delay over devotion, the first fracture in his fate became permanent. General Hospital smelled of antiseptic and exhausted hope. Kosi sat in a too big plastic chair, swinging his legs, his backpack a small island of color beside him. Auntie Nkechi rubbed his shoulders as the vending machine clattered out a bag of chips he didn't open. Nurses moved in quick lines, monitors spoke a language of peaks and dips. Through the glass, Amara lay still, and for like a thin thread stitching her to this world. The doctor's words were careful: stress, dehydration, warning signs ignored, a body protesting the weight it carried. She should rest. She needs calm, not